stream is fixed. Okay, I think screen is visible. Just change screen to see. I think it's working fine. So I don't think so. I don't know if it is getting properly uploaded. Okay. Control. I don't. Okay. Just 1 second. I'll start the session. So, good morning, good evening, everyone. So I'll start sharing the screen. I hope screen is visible. Okay, good. So so we'll start with the today's session. I will just open. Yeah. Okay. So let's start then. So I'll solve some of the example problem that would be quite similar to your the problems that you have, that will be very similar to the problems uh, that you have got in your assignment, because as someone pointed out that I should not solve the assignments because there was some miscommunication between me and some NPTEL, so I was having a little issue. I didn't know. So yeah, we'll start it. So first of all, before starting, there are lots of confusion about that mystery question in week 2 assignment, correct, if I'm not wrong. So I think this is not very clear amongst yourself that what is a, among many of you, that what is a global variable and what is a local variable, and when does it change and when does not change. So I thought like I will keep one short stretch where I'll just tell you what is actually a global variable and a local variable. Then we can start with our sessions quite. Then after that only we can start our sessions. Okay. uh to this, but solving the questions, because global variable and local variable is something very uh, basic to Python, and if that is not clear from the beginning, that can lead to, I mean, some at later part that will lead to lots of problem, or in future when you are writing a program by yourself. So uh, when we are defining a function, there are here are two things we generally call, right? One, something is known as local variable, and something is known as global variable. Okay, so what is local and what is global? Now when you think of any function, uh, so you can think it of as a machine. So function is a machine that takes something as a input and gives us back something as output. For example, if you consider a washing machine a function, okay, washing machine, so washing machine a function. If this is my function, so what does it take input? It takes my dirty clothes and it gives me out, does the washing here. So what the function does, it does washing and give me out the clean clothes. Okay, now so whatever is happening inside the function, now inside the function your dry clothes are getting different, going under different process, but that does not change the identity of your cloth, correct? When you give a shirt, even there is some process is going inside the shirt, does not change. Okay, correct. So that is, so clothes is a global variable and whatever is happening inside, it's a local variable. Okay, now to explain that in a clearer manner, so I'll just explain this in a small function. So I'll create a variable known as a equal a, and my a is just a number, it's an integer 5. Now I'll define a function like this, and the function we define, as you know that we define it like this, def. So what this function does, this just make twice. Okay, so it just do it just gives twice of its input. Okay, so it takes input as some integer which I'm taking as, or sorry, some integer which is also a. Okay, now this particular a, this particular a, and this particular a, these two are not similar. Okay, so this a is a global variable, this a is a local variable. Okay, so now I'll just go for two print statements. Print that a outside the, print a outside the function. So you write something like a string like this, you give a comma and give your value here. So print outside a is my a. Now I'll write the function. So I'll write that new a, so twice of a is equal to a into 2. Okay, now I'll write one more statement, print a, should be small a inside the function is a. Okay, I'll say okay, return me a, and I'll say okay, twice of a. So I'll say print twice of a, just print statement, nothing. And I'll also write now print a after running the function. Okay, that is also to be my A. Okay, so let's see now what is. So I'll debug the code from each step, and you watch in um, the variable explorer part that what is A now. Okay, and you can see also in the, because I'm printing at each step, so you can see also in the console also. So let's see, let's debug it. Okay, it's debugging. Now I'll go to the next step. It's going to see A is 5. Now what is A outside the function is 5. Good. Now it is going to here and it will move inside the function. So I'm moving inside the function. Now what is A is A equal A into 2. So now what is A inside the function is 10. Okay. Now I am returning A from the function. Okay.
Sir, I don't think you called the function.
I called the function here. This is the where I'm calling the function.
You didn't put a value for A.
I my
You didn't
already
pass parameters, sir.
this is the parameters. A is already I have defined A already, correct?
Okay, sir.
You understood? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I giving in the if I give okay, I'll just do one thing. So I'll debug it once more from here, and I will go to here till here. So my print A outside the function is 10. I'll not return actually. If I put return, something odd will happen. So see, now A is A. Now what will be A after running the function? So what is the value of A now? Someone tell me what is the value of A now?
10.
10.
Okay. Uh, okay.
5 because outside the function.
5, sir.
Yes, 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 yes.
So it would be 5. So it would be 5. No?
Correct. Because
It's a global variable.
correct. So A is a global variable. Since it is so some see you can still some of have some of confusion. So that confusion is because see when I'm calling twice of A I'm changing inside the function. This A, this A, though their name is same, this A is a global variable, this is a local variable. Okay. So now if I print function A after running the function is still 5. Okay. Is it clear now? Okay. So that's one way. So now I see okay. At this point of time, if I run the function once more, I have just made a small change if you have noticed. What so if I again run the function and I go till here, so now what will be A if I print A now?
10. 10, sir.
Hello, someone was telling something.
10, sir.
Correct. So now I am specifically changing A to twice of A. So now my A is 10. So now it will return me the function. Okay. So there are one way, so two ways you can do. So whenever you are returning something from a function, it doesn't mean that you are assigning assigning a value to the return. So till the point if I say my function return is n, then there will be a new variable known as n. I just remove everything, and if I just proceed, see there is a new variable n which is equal to twice of a. So there is one way you can either vary you can either create a variable that uh, gives you the return of the function. So return of the function will just give you return in the console. It will not give you any return inside the code till the point you don't get the return in a variable. Or so one more thing is like, okay, I'll do now one more thing. uh, so whatever I was the code was previously this one. and I will say a small thing that globally. Now if I run the code again, name A is a parameter and global. Okay, so what one thing I have to do is, so A again I am changing inside, and now if I do the A, because I am calling the function, I am making A as a global variable, even if I am not changing the A outside the function, I'm making sure that A is a global variable. So whatever I do inside A inside the function, it will be changed outside the function. So if I now print the statement, see it's saying A after running the function is 10. Okay, so there are two ways you can change A, not by just returning. You have to say that okay, whatever is my return is the new way, making sure that either you making sure that A is when you print, when you call the function, you are assuring that A is twice of A. Secondly, and second part, when uh, or you can do that inside the function, if you call global of A and you then you assign, then you call the function, that time also it will change. Okay, so this is something very basic, and you should be very clear that what is a global function and what is a local function. So anything inside the function which is not explicitly mentioned as global is always local variable, and everything outside the function whatever you do is a uh, global variable. Okay, okay, so now I'll go to the our today's class. So I'll solve some of the questions, and yeah, so let's see. So this was our first question. Our first question that, so yeah, so you have to, so this is some, these are some problems that will be similar to your assignment problems, but that will help you to uh, give the so help you solve the assignments. Someone in YouTube Sim set startup has written 10. I don't know for whichever, so I hope it's clear for now what is global and local. Okay, so there are two way to do this thing. So we have to define a Python function, remove duplicate or rem duplicate, which takes a non-empty list of integers L and removes all duplicates in the L, keeping only the first occurrence of the each number. So there are two ways. I will show you the both the ways. One way is the longer way and one is the one-liner way. Okay. So first, what is my function name is MGOPL. Okay, this is my function name. And so how will you go by this? So I'll create a new list, L new, make a new list, and I'll iterate through the list that for I in L. So I'll just iterate. So the basic idea is I'll iterate to the L. If something is not in the L new, I'll append it. If it is not, if it is still in the L new, I'll not append. If it is still in the L new, I'll not append it, and that's how I'll get the new list where I'll get only the duplicate, only the one values. Okay, for I in L, if I not in L new, then I'll say that okay, L new dot append I. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? So I hope it is clear. I cannot see your chats actually, so if you have any doubts, please uh, just turn on your mic and please speak, because I can't see your chats. I'm just following the YouTube because there was some problem in the YouTube last week, so I just following the YouTube today. If there is any so that if there is any problem from the YouTube, I get to know. Okay. Yeah. So I hope this thing is clear. It's a very simple function, and I will return L. That's a simple function, and there are already I have kept some of the sets. Okay, it's not here. So if I just make a list, say L is equal to some list, say which have A, comma C, 33, comma 33, comma okay, comma A, comma some U 33 A, then again say 33. Yeah, like that. If it is there, I'll make sure that so our new list should have A, C, 33 and U. Okay, so yeah, and I'll just call the function again, remove of L, and I print it so that you can always see it, and I'll run this. So my function works properly. Is AC 33 and U, so only one occurrence of each. If I say make some more occurrence of this, that should also work. Still now also giving, and yeah, that's all. That's all correct. So there's a way that you iterate through the list, and this something like some 4-5 lines code. There is one more way where you can do it in a one liner. So I'll do it in one line first. So I'll just copy it, this thing, and I'll give us some different name, say input short. And so something, I'll teach you a new thing, something known as in Python known as set. Okay, so what does set do? So what does a set do? Okay, so a new thing, that is a set. So set this some it's a new uh, type of not a list, but it's a type of bucket in the Python that is known as set. So what is the difference between list sorry, difference between a list and a set? Okay, so set, what does it, if I give a list, say a comma 1 comma 2, actually should not use this one. Yeah, 1 2 1 3, then 3 2. So this is my list, and so if I convert it to set, the set should have, by the you define the set with a curly bracket. The set of this list should have a 1 2 and 3. So what does it does? same thing what we want to do, it removes all the duplicates in the in the in a list or in any bucket of some elements. Okay, so if we do it, so I'll just show you how to do a set. So if I just, there is two way to do. I'll just, s is equal to, you can do a curly bracket and write whatever I was writing, a comma 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 3 3 3 3 5, then 1 comma 2. Okay. So if this is a set, I'll give this, and if I print s, see this is like 1 2 3 5 and a only, right? So there is no duplication here. If I would have created a list of this, list would have duplicates. So if I now print s, see s has all the duplicates. There is one way to define set like in a curly bracket, but sometimes I don't prefer to do curly bracket because if you have started seeing the week 4 classes, you'll see that you would have seen that curly brackets is also used for dictionary. Rather than that, I just say a command called set in the and add things. Sorry, and I'll put set and give it in the set. I'll give it one command. So it should be in two early brackets. So I'm converting a tuple or a list to a set. So either you can give this. So now it is also a set, or you can make it as a list, which is also a set, which is also will work. Okay, you can make either a tuple or a list or any kind of uh, conglomeration of some elements. You can give it to, you can make it a set. So where I'll just return, I'll return the, so I have to return a list here because it's saying keeping only the returns engine, remove all duplicates, keeping in L and keep only the, so I have to return a list here. So while I'll do is I'll just write one line code, retur and return list of set of L. Okay, and so first I am converting L to a set, then again converting that set to a L. Rather I'll, so for your and better understanding, I'll write it, so you can write it in a single line, or I can write it here, L equal to set of L, then L equal to list of L. That only I was writing in one go. Okay, and return L. Instead of like writing in two lines, I'll write it in a one line. That's what I had done previously. Set list of set. See if I now call the same function again, and we'll just call the, since L is a global variable, won't matter. So print this L I am telling, it's a global variable. Print, so this is my trim duplicate short of L. If I run this, see again it gave me the correct answer only, 33 UCA. So if I run this and this, there is a minute difference. So there's a minute difference here. So in set, so this minute difference sometimes becomes very, it's a very trivial thing, but it's a very trivial thing, but sometimes it becomes a problem. Okay, so this is my my first this program, and this is from the second program. So what is the difference there? Can anyone point out what is the difference here?
So set will
Obviously.
return a ordered sequence.
Yes, so set automatically sorts your elements. List doesn't sort your elements, it just keeps you wherever it is. Same goes for dictionary. If you if you are if you have checks for the week 4 classes, if you have seen, same goes for dictionary. Dictionary always is ordered. It's sorted, not ordered. Dictionary is always ordered. If you write uh, Sham, then Ram, then Akash, it should, even if you put the inputs in the order of S, R, and A, when you print the dictionary, it would always A, R, and S. Okay, so like that, it's a sorted. So I'll just give a small thing. This is unsorted. This is sorted. This you should remember because of the very fact that sometimes you use this I, sometimes you use the positions of the list to do some calculations or something. So that time your I will change. Okay, so this thing is a very trivial thing. Sometimes these error large bugs come into the programs. Okay, so we'll go to our next question, which is also here. Then sir, join me on the class. Sign startup. See, some of them I have joined. There were some as participants, so I joined it. Let them join. So I cannot just go by all the time to Google Meet to admit all of them. You should try to join within 7, maximum 7:5, so that I can make sure, so I can admit you all. Because there is no option in the Google Meet, or at least in my of mine, that where I can allow or let anyone to join at any time. Okay. See, I have now admitted. Now some message came again. Admit someone. Anyway, so okay. Okay. So write a Python function sum square L that takes a non-empty list of integers and returns a list in this order, odd and even, where odd is the sum of squares of all odd numbers in L and even is the sum of squares of the even numbers in the list. Is also a fairly simple function. I think it's just you have to, if you know for and if uh, you will you know how to do it. So, and one more thing, if you are not getting admitted in the in the you're seeing that you are not getting admitted in the Google Meet, there most probably the 100 participant limit has already been reached. So please switch to YouTube, and there also you can see whatever I am teaching. If, okay, you can comment. I am also following your comments there. Okay. So what is the function name? This also takes L as our list, but that should always be a integers. Okay. So it's a fairly simple thing. So I'll just make two lists. Sorry. So what will be my basic? The basic thing that we'll do is quite like fairly simple. That just so that I can understand things. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just so I'll iterate. So if it's a list of some numbers, say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 8, like that, I'll iterate through the list. Okay, I'll iterate through the list one by one. Then I'll make two different group. One will be our odd and one will be our even. Okay, so one by even. So odd will be if I this by 2 is not equal to 0, and there is some divisor, and if I by 2 equals to 0. So this is our basic things. Now I'll make a new list where I'll put that sum of this odd number square plus sorry, sum of odd number squares and sum of even numbers squares. This should be my final outcome. So we'll write fairly simple code. So for I in L, okay, so I have to first define two list. One would be odd, other odd squared. I put the squared number because I need the sum of the squares of all odd numbers, or sum of the square of all odd square and even square as two lists I define inside the function. I'll define inside the function the two function odd square even square. And then for I in L, I'll just write if I this by 2 equals to 0. Okay, put it in the even square. So even square dot append. I think append function you all know, right? Just appends the, if I have a list of 1 2 3 4 and say append 5 to that list, it will just append the that particular element at the end of my list. As I else or square dot append I. Or square dot append I. That's all. Sorry, I should put I because I need the square, so I directly put I of squares. So you put it in, so to the power star means I into I star something means I am doing to the power of that. If root would have been, I would have given 1 I star 1 by 2 cube I star 3 like that. Okay, so something like this. Then I will return a list of odd square comma. So you can see I am just defining, I am not giving the list any, the new list where the odd square and the even square is there, any number. I am just returning it as is this add the list by putting just second, sorry, the box bracket here. Okay, and I already have some of these. Oh, I did one small mistake. Some because I need the sum, correct. It here some square of, so if I just manually do first one, if I just manually do it, one is a odd number, 1 3 5 are the odd numbers, so 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square will be 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 25, so it should be 35, and even is 2 4 and 6, so 2 square is 4, 4 square is 16 and 6 square is 36, so it should be 35 and 56. If I run this part, 35 and 56, this I'm not going to say. And if this one, if I see, there is only the odd numbers, so there is no even number except 0. So yeah, it is 0. Okay. So the code is working fine. Admit some message, sir, I am on time, I am before 7:05. I see, I am not able to, I have at 7 I admitted everyone, so I don't know if somehow, if anyone is missed out, because as soon as I start the class, I cannot go back to the Google Meet every time, then it's not possible. So it's, I mean, it's not possible for me because someone is not there to admit. Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
So before returning, you have written some odd square and some even square. Why you have written some? You
Because
can also write like even square and then odd square, and it should return now the
it's
correct
written.
answer.
No. I am returning that because the function says it should return sum of squares. Did you understand? It's just returning. It is asking me the sum of the squares of the odd and even number. It's the function. It's a question is asking me. If I just return odd square and even square, it will just return me to list. See, if I remove the sum, it's just the question is asking me.
Understood.
As you can understood.
Is that some of predefined function?
Sorry, sum is a predefined. Sum is a predefined. So if you just say sum of any values, say you should put it. So you can see sum is already here. See, it's already iterable. It's iterable, and
Okay, sir.
it's start equals start, always starts equals start 0. So if I say sum of sum, I'll first. I always do for these kind of functions. I always do this because many time we do this and we will see a error which we will not understand why. This is why, because this should be some list or tuple or some collection. We'll do 1 2 3 4 10. If I give some, but if I give it this, it will give me error. Expected as expected. And one more thing, if you just want to do it for 2 3 4, you just say start is equal to 1, view 4 plus 3 7. What is the problem? 0 1. Okay, is something odd is happening. Sum of start. Okay, what just start says? Okay, let me just check what the start says. Sorry, what just start says it. So whenever you are having any problem, always have a search. The Geeks for Geeks is a good website, and also you can see Stack Exchange. So what is start? Assumed start is added to the, so if 10. Oh, okay. So here the start is basically will add some numbers to the, it's the start will just add some numbers to the. So if I make start as 10, it should give 4 plus 3 7 plus 2 11 10, so it should give you 20. Okay. There are sometimes you get if you get confused at any function that what is just doing, just go and make a Google search. 9.99% cases you will get a solution there. And sometimes if you want to do something, just type that's okay, we want to do this thing. If in Stack Exchange, you will definitely get some solution or nearby solution which you can also work with. So this website you can also always keep in mind. This one is Geeks for Geeks is a good for checking something out, and one is Stack Exchange. So this stack exchange Python. So the Stack Overflow, whatever this is, Stack Overflow. So the Stack Overflow is like, there are lots of questions you will have if you have just want to search something here. Say how does NumPy work? Okay, I want to just know. I don't know what is NumPy here. So there is like NumPy addition work, how will NumPy argmax work, different NumPy is NumPy modules, different things are work. Okay, so this two website you should remember. This will actually help you a lot in future whenever writing a code. Still now I just go and check there if I have having some doubt. Okay then, okay, I will go to the next function because we are running out of time, and last function is a little not very trivial. It's easy but not very trivial. So yeah, so let's go to this. Okay, let's see what is the function saying us. A two-dimensional matrix can be represented in Python row-wise in a list of lists, and each inner list represent one row of the matrix. Just give me 1 second, I just have some water. Okay, so a two-dimensional matrix can be represented in Python row-wise as list of lists. Each inner list represents one row of the matrix. So 1 2 3 4 can be written as like this. 5 6 7 8 can be written as like this, list of lists. And so this problem, I think you have got a similar problem in your assignment also. So the transpose of a matrix converts each row into a column, and transpose of matrix however is 1 5 2 6 3 7 4 8. So I think what is matrix by transpose is a very general mathematics you should all know, which would be represented as like this. So first row is 1 5, second row is 2 6 3 7, and like that. So write a Python function transpose M that takes as input a two-dimensional matrix M and returns the transpose of M. The argument M should remain undisturbed by the function. So I have to do a matrix transposition like this and make sure that M doesn't change. So again, first I will show you the difficult way, and then I will show you the two-line way just using NumPy module. So yeah, so first the difficult way without remember, you cannot import NumPy or any kind of modules in the in your assignment, because if you import it, it will give you error, because that Python function that because somewhere someone has asked in a question that I have imported NumPy and did something. If you cannot import any module, you have to do it by just by default or whatever environment is given there, and I don't think that in that environment NumPy is installed, because I myself have tried one and it didn't work. So remember that, okay? No modules is allowed. Just for your learning purpose, I'll show you. Any predefined Python function will work, like set, sum, those will. Okay, so transpose M. So okay, this I should so you should, this particular line you should it should be concentrated. The transpose of a matrix converts each row into a column, and So again see, oops, see what is up. See everything whatever I have done till now. Does anyone know how to just do a one-click delete of everything in a Microsoft Word whiteboard? If anyone knows, please let me know. I am just not able to find. Please let me know in a message or mail or turning on. That would be very helpful for me.
Sir, what is the name of your YouTube channel, sir?
This is, I have already sent in the link in the group. You can just go and check there. Have you not found the, if you not have not found the link, what I can, have you got the link?
No, sir.
No, I have sent it in the Python
So I
group.
can see.
I am not in the group. Where's the link of that
Yeah,
group?
sir. Same here.
Oh, you don't have the, but you should always join to that group, okay? If you are having a,
So how
I'll,
can I do so?
So
you have,
send the group link.
okay. I'll, but how do we send the, okay, fine. 1 second. Then I'll stop the display lecture for 1 second because I have to open my mail. What we did, so I'll paste it here. This is the group that you can send mail to the group. You can join the Google group, just normal Google group, and the YouTube link that also I'll just send. Copy this. Control plus A delete. Okay, I'll try. Thank you. Yeah, this is the YouTube link also I've sent in the message, and this is the message where it is. What is that? You cannot pin it. Okay, I cannot pin any comments here. I'll also do one thing. I'll copy this and put into the YouTube channel also, so that you can also be there. I'll in the group link. I'll also paste in the. You cannot pin it. Okay, I cannot pin any comments here. I'll also do one thing. Fine. I have done. I have sent the group link and there, and you can also do see it there also. See this. Okay, so last problem, this one. I'll take 10 minutes maximum extra if needed. Sorry for the extension. So what does a transpose of a matrix means? If I'm doing say 1 2 3 and 4 5 6, the transpose is, so 80 is basically 1 4 2 3. Okay, 1 4 1 4 2 5 and 3 6, like that, correct? So if you now check this, actually just if you just take 0 1 2, if this is the index of the column, and 0 and 1 if this is the index of the row, you can just see that 1 as is still 0 0, 4 previously was 1 4 in the index, right? 1 4, if ij format it was 1, sorry 1 not 1 4, 1 0, because 1 is the row number and 0. Now 4 has become, so this is, I'll just also write 0 1 2 and 0 and 1. So 4 is now 0 and 1, correct? So now what is the value of 4 now is 1 comma 0. If you just consider say 6 previously was the position was, if you consider the uh, Pythonic way of indexing, it was in first row and second column. So now if you just consider the Pythonic way of this 2, it's in a second row first column, so 2 1. So what is the changing? It's basically interchange of row and column. Okay, so it's the interchange of row and column. And so basically if we consider a aij, the aij's transport would be nothing but aji in a I format, in a ij format. So if I say this element is ij format, the other element will be ji in the transpose. It's a basic thing. There is something very similar in a very similar in your very similar in your assignment also, where uh, you have to left rotate, I think, a square matrix, something like this. So like this you have to left rotate also always. So hint is that try to write that particular thing in this particular thing, not in 1 2 3 4 5 6, rather than 1 2 3 4 5 6, try to write that same thing in a ij format. In that way you can easily find out how the row and column is changing. This is the hint. Okay, so I'll not tell you the answer because I'm not allowed to, but the hint is this: you have to write a matrix in ij format, in a general ij format, check like 0 1 2, just that's where how I have shown you here. So this will be your ith is row, right? So this will be your j and this will be your ith row. So 0 1 2 I, like that and like that, and write, then write the rotated form of the matrix and try to find out how the aij or the any ai minus 1 j minus 1 aj minus 1 I minus, how does it change. If you can find that, it will be easily, if you find the relation between the left rotated matrix and the right rotated matrix, like I found here, that a transpose of aij is just interchange, you will be able to solve that one. Okay, that is the hint. Okay, now the code. So the code I have to first, so okay, I'll just write that how should we go by the code. That is very important. So I'll just make a new whiteboard. Okay, so I will go by the code. So it's basically it's my way to do it, because I do it in numpy. So it's my way to do it is, first, if you want to convert one matrix a to a some x matrix, if a matrix have a shape of ij and x matrix have a shape of mn, so I first create a matrix, a null matrix of mn, 0 0 0, like 0 till m, and like that 0 0. So like that I create a null matrix of null matrix of mn shaped, and I get the indices. So I get the indices of the aij matrix and put according to, and replace this 0 with the value of aij or whatever the relation is. Okay, that is the basic thing. So here I have to create, I'll create so since I know that x matrix is of ji, I'll create a null matrix of null matrix of ji, and I will put aij to replace the 0 of aij to the xji. Okay, like that I will do. This is my way to do it. You can do it some other way. I find this one is quite simple and easy as you understand it. Okay, so first to create the null matrix, if you are using numpy, it's one minute job, but if you're not using numpy, that's a some very basic thing. So I'll just say that okay, transpose of m is equal to an empty list, and I'll make a temporary list. Now I say okay, for row in m, temp dot append sorry, for row in m, temp dot append sorry, for row in range of is correct, range of len of m. So row, just confirm myself if I'm doing it correct. Yeah, doing it correct. So row into 0. This took me some time to solve little thing. Okay, and yeah, temp dot append this. So what this will do, this will scan this thing into the row, and m of range of length of m of row will be your this. So the same thing I'm doing. Yeah, 0. So because I need, say if it is a 3 cross 2 matrix, 3 comma 2 matrix, so I have to have a 2 cross 3 matrix, right? And for row in this, then I'll say okay, for column in m, so in that specific row should not be here, should be also seek row transpose dot append temp. Correct. So just to explain the question, just to explain the what I am doing here. So my, say I have a matrix of 3 cross 2. What I want is 2 cross 3. So I have to make 3 cross 3 to 2 cross 3. Right? It's somewhere here so that you can do. So I have to say, for an example, I have to make a 2 cross 3 sorry, 3 cross whatever, 3 cross 2 matrix to a cross 3 matrix. Okay? And I am creating a null matrix of 2 cross 3. So I am doing that. First I am saying make a transpose of M. If transpose of M is empty list, I'm making a temporary list which is temp and yep. So then what I'm doing is, okay, so in m of lane of m of row, yeah, range of lane of correct, I'm doing it correct only. So a row of a matrix, so whatever in this m of row, I'm multiplying that into 0, so to make sure that okay, that doesn't come to my list. And so in this case, the row length of row is 3, so this temp will basically be, since this is 3 row, there are 3 rows, so temp will basically 0 comma 0 comma 0 at the first go, correct, for whatever go it is. Okay, so temp will be like this, 0 comma 0 comma 0, because I'm appending 0 0 0 3 times because the row is 3 times. Now the for column in row, so in the particular row there are 2 columns, so I'm appending 2 times temp to transpose m. So first I am creating something like this, so temp should be something like this, temp would be 0 comma 0 comma 0, so 3 times I am appending basically 0. Next what I am doing, making transpose, append temp to transpose 2 times. Transpose will be something like this, transpose will be something like temp comma temp. Okay, so transpose name is not defined, that doesn't matter, but yeah, transpose will be what, transpose will be temp comma temp. So if I just print transpose now, transpose will be like this. Okay, two list of 0, my m was, so it's like now a 2 cross 3 matrix, right? This will be my basic thing. Now this I have made the null matrix. What I'll do, for row in for row in column, sorry, again I'm one small mistake, range, so I'm going till the length of row, the range of length of, so now for row in for row in, again I'm doing again the same thing, for range length of m, and for column in range of n, range of enough row, I'm just switching column and row. So transpose m's with column is equals to m's row column. Okay, I should see if I have done it correctly, just to make sure column row is correct. Okay, so I'm interchanging the row column of transpose just to make a the end return me transpose. To my now will this function work? Okay, first, anyone has not understood the function, how it like the code, how it is working. It's complex, I know it's complex. So yeah, I am checking it if anyone has understood the problem. It's like not understood the problem. If not, no. Okay, so yes, sir, it's complex. Questions 3 questions are also complex, correct? Okay, so I'll for whomever you have not understood, I'll debug the code. That time I think it will understand. But let me see, just I'll debug the code, but just for the time being, will this function work? So what will be our result should be 15263748. Now I'll say it will not work. Why? Why? Oops, sorry. Should not print into call the function print transpose of m. So this function will not work. What happened to int of length? Just let me see what is the problem. Flip over in 576 range of len of row. Why row? Ah, sorry, sorry, sorry. Range of len of what? Range of len of m of. I should go m of row. Row is just a number. Okay, so this will not work. Oh, and function object doesn't have any happened. Transpose, sorry, transpose. I'm correct now. Sorry for this thing. Something is I need to okay again the same thing. I have done mistake. Now I should, yeah. See, it's not working, right? So I'll just clear it up. See, it's not working. We should have got 15263748. Why it is not working? Because of a very simple reason it's not working. The reason is that when I am copying temp here, since it's a list are mutable, so the temp, the transpose m has two temps. So whenever I am changing one temp, the transpose m one column row, the other temp is basically changing. So what I have to do is a very simple thing I have to do here. I have to make a new list. I think sir has told you in his class that you have to. Now if I see, it's working. Okay, I'll debug the code so that you can understand the how it is working properly. Okay, I'll just clear up all the variables so that don't get confused. I'll debug the code so that you can understand. Debug set. Okay, fine. So this is my m. Now I am first defining a empty list transpose m. Then I am doing an empty list temp. Now for row in range of len of m is 2. So always remember, if it is a list of lists, it should give the only the len is the list of first row. Okay. Now, so if I am telling for row in range of, so row is first 0, correct? Row is 0. So what is m of row? It's 1 2 3 4 basically. So m of row into 0, sorry, 1. Yeah, okay, fine, doesn't matter. m of row into 0 is 0, and if I am doing this, it's just making one empty, yeah, it's just making one empty list, correct? M of row, correct. So should be actually so so I did one small mistake here. Yeah. So first I'm doing transpose m. So m of row. So m's 0th row of row. So m00 is now 0. So now I'll say m of 0 or 1. Sorry. Yeah. So m of row that is now 0. So 0 is 1. Now again for it will go for one row. So m of 1 is again 1 into equal to 0. So here just remember that we are just following the number of, since we are converting the number of rows, I am just changing the from 1 to 0 1 2. So I am just going to the length of the row. So 2 times it should go because 0 went first. And now what is temp is just 0 because 2 times I have to append 0, that's all. Okay, I have to just append 0 2 times. I can also just say this also can be done. Okay, this is, let's see, now in the column, so there are 3 columns. I can say that okay, now check the transpose m. First 100 has happened. There are 4 columns, so 200 400, sorry 3300 400. Now if I am doing it for the next time, now it is just, so I have now the my transp is already done. So what is my trans m now? It's a matrix of just a reverse format. Okay, so transpem, now I am just making transpems of column comma row. So now my row and column is 0 0. So 0 0 exchanges 0 0 will make transpem as 1. If I now print transpem, see 1 has been changed. If again I am doing it, so if I again print the transpem, see 2 has changed because now the m the now the row is 0 but column is 1. So in the transpem I'm changing the column 1 and row 0. So row 0 column 1, correct? Next if I do, I have changed row 0 column 4. Secondly, row 0, okay, uh, of the m row 0 column 4, and in this case row 4 column 0, like that. Then in the second row I'll go again, it will go for 4 times, and you can see each time it is changing one value. So done, it will be returned. And if I just proceed this, see, just given me the correct. Okay, so basically first I am doing a 0 0. So what I can do actually is like just after I can append just 0 also. In fact I can just append just 0 also. That will also work because I want to append just 0 only in the, I can just append. So I want to append zeros of, so I want to make row of equal, the column of the transpose M should be equal to row of M. So again, if I am just 2, I'll show you once more. It is working. 0, 1, 0 has gone, 2, 0 has gone, then 2 times temp is getting appended, then 4 times, so first 2 zeros because there are 2 columns, then 4 times 0 is getting appended, and now the remaining 0. Okay, so this thing you have to change a bit. You have to just change a bit this thing and this thing. Basically this relation you have to understand for solving the last question of week 3 assignment. Okay, so I hope it's been clear. As I explained, I have explained it. So if any doubt, is there any doubt still now? I hope you have understood the function, how it is working. So it's appending number of rows of a zero, number of columns of a 0 first, and then put it is as a row. Okay, I hope it is clear. Yeah, so I'll end the live session here only. Sorry for extending a bit. Oh yeah, I should give you the one-liner also, right? So one-liner is nothing. I'll import numpy as np. So, and in np you can create any array. So you can, so arrays are judging from, if I just list, okay, so if I just say m is equal to np dot an array of m. Oh, I have not run this line, so that's why it's not working. Should run this line, and then it will work. So see, you can see it's array. You can see it in a matrix format here. So it's a numpy array object. Okay, so now m is a numpy array, and if you just write m equals to m dot transpose, the m is transposed. Okay, so it will just, the function will be like that, def transpose def transpose in using numpy. So I just m is equal to n dot array m, and m transpose is equal to m dot transpose, and I will return transpose returned in. This is my transpose using n. If I run this, give me, so there's a one-liner that's by using numpy, but this you cannot use. So I don't think numpy will be taught in this. I don't know if it will be taught in this particular course, but you can see any YouTube video. Numpy module is a very effective module. But if you are learning Python, numpy is a very effective module. You can do lots of matrix operations, array operations, and loads of things with numpy. You can just go to any YouTube video of numpy and check how does numpy works. And if needed later, I can also take half an hour to half an hour class on numpy. Okay, and that's it. Okay, then goodbye, see you all in the next video.